Most people train to look strong, but not many train to actually be strong. For this workout, we did a full body exercise, training multiple different muscle groups. Here's my warm up. Every time I start a training session, I always start with glutes and core. If this isn't activated, everything else begins to break down. So right now I did a few sets of glute bridges. Then I'm now doing some leg raises. And what this does is it just gets blood flow to those main muscle groups. And so later on, when I go on to do heavier movements and more taxing exercises, such as hip thrusts, shoulder press, and single leg squats, my foundation now is activated. It feels warmed up. Prior to doing this years before an injury, I would just go out there, do a little light warm up, get on the treadmill, shake out the arms a little bit, and then I go straight into freaking heavy lifting. And I realized that this has more tax on the body than we truly think. So the warm-ups you're seeing in the beginning of this video, they are essential, and they can definitely be very resourceful and useful to add into your own workout. Specifically this one, the single leg glute bridge. Truly love that one because it targets each glute unilaterally. And then now when I'm on the hip thrust, you see I'm using just a little 35-pound plate to warm up. It's still kind of heavy, not so much. Our glutes are powerful, a lot stronger than we think. But also as men, we don't train the glutes enough. Women always train their glutes, but men don't. We just oddly neglect them. And what's odd about that is as well is that most men play a sport. And if you are trying to be athletic, your glutes, your ass is one of the most important muscle groups that you need to train to become powerful, to become forceful, strong, and stable. So I was warming up with that. And right now I got a light dumbbell. I think these are 10-pound right here, 10, 15 pounds. And I'm just doing some lateral raises as well to get blood flow and that side delt. Really just turn them on a little bit because I was going to do some shoulder press later in the video. But yeah, see, we loaded up the 45-pound plate. We went up from the 35. So this is 135 pounds we ended up doing hip thrust with. Very great movement. More athletes. We need to include hip thrusts. Young men, young women, start doing them more and more. They're not just for looks and for building a big butt. Yes, they are for building a big butt, building big glutes, but it's also just to be, what comes with that is being more stable, more powerful, feeling healthier, feeling more mobile, more comfortable. It's essential for your back health, your spinal health, and it's also connected to your core. So we now have 185 on, the 45 and the 25, doing reps of this. It was nice. I mean, even these, I could honestly start every single exercise. Every time I do a workout, I could likely start with hip thrusts. I know it's going to be a bit repetitive and annoying seeing me always doing hip thrusts over and over, but it's a weakness of mine that I got to work on, and that's just building those glutes. That's the staple. That's what holds everything together. So from there on, we're now going into Bulgarian split squats or single leg lunges, whatever you want to call them. And shout out the girlfriend, man. She put me onto this little machine in the back. I was going to do them with the same platform that we're on, but this little setup here where I can put my foot on it made it a lot more stable. And it was pretty seamless here. Like, I felt a little bit more balanced. Still struggle with my balance a little bit, as you can see, but it was a bit more comfortable rather than having my foot up so high on such a large box. So for this is just putting the foot back, trying to stay stable, standing up with it. We used to squat really heavy for a while, and that was my main focus in my training, was just heavy squats. Being 15, 16, 17 years old, I'd always come in. I had 225 on it. That was essential, squatting that no less than 185. And I was eventually working my way up to like sets of 275, doing that 5-6 reps. And I mean, for me at the time being like 180 pounds, like that's a lot of weight to put on the spine. And yes, we can, our legs are strong and powerful, and we can build up to that and way beyond. There's people who squat at that weight 405 and even more, even 500 pounds. But it's all about gradually improving and progressive overload, not just jumping from freaking, being at a 185 squat and then now next week I'm on 225 and the next week I want to throw 275 on. No, it's months of training, and it's weeks of putting up 5 more pounds, then another 5, then another 10, and slowly progressing. We always want to do things so fast and quick, but we have to realize nothing worthwhile is earned overnight. It's going to take weeks of training, weeks of progression. So yeah, back I did like another set of the ball clearing split squats, and then hop into some push-ups, get a nice old chest pump. It's the staple, man. Push-ups. We neglect these quite often because they're so simple, they're so easy to do, but we always forget that these are one of the most vital workouts you can do, one of the most vital exercises. Basic is everything when working out. I mean, back to the basics always. All you need is your push-up, your pull-up, a dip, a squat, freaking row. You're good, man. It's like those 4 or 5 things, all you really need to truly grow, and consistency at doing them over and over and over. If you're watching my trainings, you see I'm doing some of the same exercises all the time, especially more recently. Right now, my focus is just improving my back health, improving my core, and building my rugby legs back again. So I'm always like freaking lunging, I'm always hip thrusting. Right here, we're doing a little a hip hinge or RDL, kind of like a Romanian deadlift with dumbbells. That's quite nice. I haven't done those in a minute. And that was the bulk of our lower body work. Maybe could have did a little more value, but short for time, and we're doing a lot of weight and volume. Like you only see really 1-2 sets of all these exercises, but for everything I'm doing no less than 3 sets. It's like 4 sets I did on all of those, and then 3 sets on some of these accessories. And to be real, it's quite taxing at times. It's just a lot of volume, and trying to take care of the body. I want to make sure that I can show up the next day and give it my all. So that's really what this is about, man. A lot of people, they rush their upper body work, but control is what builds strength. You see here, I'm trying to come down, and I'm really exploding up at the top. I could have did these reps a little bit slower on the way down, but I was feeling nice and strong. As I kind of like these machines, man. I haven't often been able to load up a good amount of weight. And again, shout out Bay. She got a nice film for me, nice close-up shot of us. This is how we ended out the workout, with some good old machine shoulder press. If you want to get stronger and stay healthy, stop chasing random workouts. Start training with intention, program your workouts, and show up and give it everything and all that you have. Don't do these 50, 60% effort. Give it everything you got, and we're going to improve and progress every single time. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.